This 11th generation Honda Civic switches to eHEV full hybrid power in its mainstream form and adopts a lower key look. It's slightly larger than its direct family hatch rivals and delivers everything its brand knows about petrol-electric technology, which turns out to be quite a lot.
The Civic eHEV is a curious confection, an EV but not an EV. There's certainly an engine, a 2-litre normally aspirated petrol unit, but its main role is to generate energy for a little 1.05 kilowatt-hour lithium-ion battery that drives 2 electric motors. Unlike Toyota or Hyundai full hybrids, this one has no gearbox between the powertrain and the wheels. Instead, the eHEV system itself shifts seamlessly between EV, hybrid and engine drive phases as you move along. EV drive propels you from start off and at low speeds, and hybrid drive cuts in when extra acceleration is called for. Only at steady high speeds does engine drive kick in, but that happens only briefly because as you approach top speed and the required drive energy becomes higher again, the system switches back into the hybrid phase to re-unleash the full output of the electric motors. Honda promotes this as a driver's hybrid, based around the fact that a lot of the stuff you can't see was engineered around the high performance needs of the new FL5 series generation Civic Type R hot hatch, a 315 horsepower manual gearbox shopping rocket, which is determinedly unelectrified and isn't our focus here. This hybrid Civic is of course a very different kettle of fish, but it's still decently rapid, making 62 miles an hour in around 8 seconds if you engage Sport, the most urgent of the 3 provided drive modes. You might want to as well, because unlike other Honda eHEV models we've tried, this one actually responds to your right foot, instead of merely considering your request with infuriating slowness, as is the case with the brand's hybrid SUVs. Thanks to a stiffer chassis, a wider rear track, and revisions to Honda's Agile Handling Assist torque vectoring system, it goes round corners with surprising agility. And we've appreciated Honda's retuning efforts with the more feelsome steering rack. Drive with a more leisurely gait and diesel-like fuel returns are possible, up to 60.1 mpg and 108 grams per kilometre of CO2. The boldness of Civic design seems to alternate with each generation. It does now have more of a mature look, though even that wasn't really what the designers were going for. The wheelbase stretched by 35mm here in pursuit of a sporty coupe-like aesthetic. That's why overall height has been reduced, with the tallest part of the swept-back roofline set further forward. Plus, the A-pillar has been moved back 50mm, the rear overhang is 20mm shorter, and the wheels are relatively large at either 17 inches or, as in this case, 18 inches in size. At the front, there's a sharper bumper design this time round, a mesh panel in this upper grille, delivering what Honda hopes is a sportier look. At the rear, the tailgate deck height has been positioned lower, as have the combination rear lamps. Right, time to take a look inside. Now, the flush door handles we mentioned feature touch sensors, eliminating the need for a locking button. What's Honda added this time round to the cabin design? Let's find out. Get behind the wheel and it's quickly apparent that it's less about what's been added and more about what's been taken away. A huge reduction in button clutter means a return here to the simpler interface of the earliest Civics, as part of what Honda calls a human-centred approach to interior design. You'll immediately notice this honeycomb mesh-trimmed vent strip, which stretches away across to the passenger side, and via these 3 silver toggle switches can diffuse the air being emitted, avoiding the usual wind-in-your-face sensation. The other pleasant surprise might be the seats, which are a lot more comfortable than those of the previous generation model, thanks to so-called body stabilising design. The screen tech's a big step forward too. This 9-inch centre Honda Connect infotainment screen featuring cutting-edge stuff like over-the-air updates, 3D urban modelling, and a much improved personal assistant voice command system. The instrument binnacle, a 7-inch multi-info meter display dials in base and mid-range variants, but a configurable 10.2-inch screen with virtual dials in this top advanced version. You wouldn't mistake this interior for the cabin of a premium brand model, but build quality is excellent, the ergonomics are almost faultless, and everything's really nicely trimmed as well. Right, let's take a look in the back. We didn't know quite what to expect here because, though at 4.55 metres, this car is the longest model in its class. Its 1.41 metre roof height is also the lowest. That roof height issue is something you'll notice when leaning across to strap down child seats and when getting in. Honda claims that despite the lower roofline, actual interior ceiling height is the same as it was in the previous generation model, thanks to the way that the tailgate support hinges have been moved outwards. That may be, but taller folk might still want more headspace back here, particularly on models fitted with this big panoramic glass roof. We've got no complaints about leg space though, which is up by 35mm and is better than you get from most class rivals. Let's finish with a look at the boot. And once the hatch rises, you're offered a cargo area that's 410 litres in size. You'll either love or hate this load bay cover. Instead of the usual 5-foot long fixed parcel shelf, there's a flimsy panel attached to the tailgate glass, which combines when the tailgate's shut with this retractable cover, a fabric strip you pull from left to right out of a little detachable cassette. With the rear bench flattened, an uneven load area of 1,220 litres in size is revealed. The Civic eHEV feels like a slightly larger, more mature car than its direct rivals. It's priced at the kind of level that with quite a few other brands in the family hatchback sector would only get you relatively ineffectual, mild hybrid technology. Think Focus or Golf. It promises to be safer too. All of which might be enough to allow this Mark 11 Civic to reach out beyond its traditional customer base. But will that happen? It'll be interesting to see.